think this is the last time I get you guys this week. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody's families. Hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. Salute to service game this week as well. So I want to thank everybody for everything that they do. Give us the opportunity to do what we do. And senior day as well. So a lot of special guys that have been here, stayed the course, help put the pillars of this program together, put them back in place, and a lot of guys are extremely special. So we need to send them out the right way. This is our last opportunity in the regular season. We need to go finish it the right way inside of Neyland Stadium, and guys need to get ready to go play. So I'll open it up.
Questions? Start in the back.
Coach, you just mentioned senior day. It will be the last time for some of these guys to play a home game at Neyland. Just how special is that for them, and just what has this group meant to you? Like you said, has stuck through it throughout your 3 years.
Well,
here.
I just think as a senior, it hits you, and it hits you, in the face really quickly that it'll be your last time inside of that stadium. And it's a really special group of guys that have been through some uncertainty during the course of the program, chose to stay when I arrived. A lot of these guys and have been instrumental in helping turn the culture and turn our program around. It's a special group, how they've performed, but also just who they are as people. I'm really proud of them.
Austin and Brent.
You got about 20 guys who could come back. And how do you approach them going through senior day? And then two, how do you approach like potentially having to replace them, but knowing that they could tell you 3 or 4 weeks from now, after the portal's open, hey coach, I'm coming back for another year. How do you balance that?
Yeah, for us, guys that are senior that are potentially exhausting their eligibility and/or graduating, have the opportunity to walk. I think it's important that you keep the main thing, which is Saturday afternoon performing against Vanderbilt. On the back end of the season, you want guys to make the right choice for them, their families, their future, and so you have conversations with them. You also try to help provide information to them and make sure that they're putting themselves in the right position for their future on the field and off.
Coach, in the run game, you guys have seen some, I guess, more 3-down lineman looks a little bit. What are the challenges schematically in running against that? I know everybody does it a little bit different, but what's the difference in maybe a 3-down lineman look as opposed to a traditional 4-man front?
Yeah, 3-down fronts can vary too in the fundamentals and technique and how they play it. Sometimes your matchups are different, based on the type of techniques that they're playing. So schematically, sometimes your schemes are going to vary because of the spacing and how you create grass, and you got to be able to adjust to what you're seeing or what you're preparing for on tape.
Ben and Paige.
Josh, your offensive line's pretty banged up right now. Do you expect your tackles?
Not just the offensive line.
Not just the offensive line, but with that group, do you expect John and Gerald to be able to go from the get-go on Saturday?
Hope to have both of those guys available in this one. We'll kind of see how they go through the week and where they're at before we get to kickoff, but certainly hope to have those guys available.
And anything you can offer on Javantez or?
Spragues will be out the remainder of the season. Unfortunate injury, a guy that pours into his teammates, has great energy, competes extremely hard, plays really hard, continue to get better as a player, and disappointing for him certainly.
Oftentimes when players are asked maybe what didn't go right in a game where you all lost, they say that they didn't execute at a high level. What's preventing the team, especially on offense, from executing at the caliber you all know you can?
Yeah, the football game the other day, I said it afterwards, we played hard, we played smarter football too. You can look at our penalties and we were cleaner than we had been. The game, you can look at one stat, you look at third downs in particular, getting you to the next set of downs. And they were able to convert. A lot of that was in man-to-man situations and make plays. Offensively, we were not able to do that, not able to sustain anything.
Rob.
Coach Jennings leading the SEC Navy country at this point in yards per carry, but doesn't have a big workload. How do you balance that? Would you say that that's one of the reasons his average is so high is because you guys have managed that workload, or do you would you like to force feed him a little more?
A little bit of both. we got a good stable of backs. I do think they complement each other. You know, at the end of the game, we typically try to go with a guy who's got a hot hand. Jalen's been fantastic all year long. He's created some huge plays for us, and we're gonna need that in this football game as well. But you try to balance all of that.
Adam?
Just to follow up to Austin's question earlier about the guys in the COVID year, you've got the portal coming up, do you set a hard deadline for those guys to tell you what they're gonna do, or are you pretty patient and let them go through the process?
Well, I think at the end of the day, guys gotta be ready to make the decision, either way, right? If you try to, you know, rush or pressure them into that, you know, they end up in a situation where they maybe make the wrong one. At the end of the day, you gotta be where your feet are, and I'm talking about for the next calendar year. So you provide information to them. Some of it takes longer, as you're trying to gather NFL information for those guys too.
Back to the back.
Going back to senior day, can you remember a specific moment where you've had a group of seniors or one specific senior like really mentor your younger guys throughout the season? One specific moment or several?
One specific moment where
Yeah, like any kind of moment.
mentored a younger guy?
Yeah, just like a younger guy on the team.
Man, Jacob Warren, how he embraced Callie as soon as he set foot on campus, you know, being out on the field, in the meeting room, putting in extra work with him, a guy that really helped bring him along extremely quickly.
Brent, then Vince.
Since it is the only time we will see you this week, what's the injury update in the back end with Jordan Thomas and Tamarion McDonald, Wesley Walker, and those guys who are banged up back there?
Yeah, you know, we were hoping that T-Mac would be ready to go as we went through warm-ups, just wasn't in a position to play. Hope to have those guys ready to go in this one.
All of them, including Wesley?
Yeah, Wesley's probably more questionable than the other guys.
Okay.
Two quick things to do them separately. One, you mentioned the stable of running backs you have, a lot of talent there, and a lot of those guys will split out wide for you at times, but you guys really haven't used more than one on the field at one time. What's been kind of the drawback to maybe not using them in those situations on the field at the same time?
You're saying like two-back personnel?
Yeah.
Just, you know, who we are, how we put the game plan together, and you know, we've had thoughts of doing that, just at the end of the day, haven't decided to go that direction.
And then just to make sure we get it in, what can you say about Vanderbilt specifically?
Yeah, listen, they've had 2 weeks of preparation, opportunity to get healthy. This is an in-state game. This is a big game for them. It's a big game for us too. And we need to go finish it. You gotta play physical, you gotta win at the line of scrimmage. You know, I just mentioned it, we gotta win some one-on-ones in this one too.
Wes?
Josh, you didn't make a secret on Saturday how disappointing some things have gone this season, how y'all aren't in the position you want to be. Have you had to do anything extra to motivate some of these guys or to inspire these guys late in the season? You know, how was practice today? How was the attitude, all that stuff?
Attitude was good. Disappointed, which is what you expect and what you would want on a Monday morning, as you know, go back and review the film with them before you get out on the grass. This is a prideful group. I've said that. We haven't always played, you know, what we think as well as we think we can at certain portions of football games. Disappointed with last week's result, certainly, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of work that goes into it from the time they step foot back on campus in January. This is our next opportunity. We need to go take full advantage of it. Once we got out on the grass today, I like the energy from it.
Patrick, then Vince.
Coach, going back to Jalen, you've had 1,000-yard receivers each of your first 2 seasons here. Now he has a chance to go over 1,000 yards rushing. What does that milestone mean for him and also for you as a program?
Well, for him, just his growth as a player, the work that he's put into it, to be in a position to obtain that, you know, I think is important to him. He probably wouldn't say that if he was up here, but I certainly would say it for him. You know, and you know, proud of a young guy that you know, when we got here was a fast kid that just tried to run around everybody. Now he's got great patience, great vision, and still has the home run speed to take the distance.
In your experience, Josh, how much more powerful and influential is leadership when guys are able to play? You have some key guys that be leaders, and I'm sure doing the best they can. How much of a difference does it make when you're actually in that action to help other guys?
Well, it does matter that you're in the action or you're out on the field with those guys during the course of a drive, but you still have influence, you still have impact when you're outside of it. Some of those guys aren't out at practice the entire time, so you miss them during portions of that too. We've had some guys that have had surgery, so, they've been gone for an extended period of time. You miss that energy inside your position room when they're gone.
Ben and Paige,
Josh, when you went back and watched the tape on Saturday, what led to the inconsistencies in the passing game?
Yeah, end of the day, execution, we got a tip ball, from a front line defender on a critical play. We're not accurate with the football or don't come down with the catch in one of the man-to-man situations. All of those things parlay itself into not being as efficient and effective as you need to be during the course of that game.
Oftentimes we talk about being able to make in-game adjustments, pre-snap communication. What makes it so challenging to make those in-game adjustments live and throughout the game?
Well, if structures are different, during the course of a drive, you don't have an opportunity to get with your guys. As the drive ends, you get a chance to, go back and draw it up for them, and try to get them on the same page. But at the end of the day, that's why it's important that the guys that you have out there can see, recognize, and identify what's going on the other side of the football.
anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.